everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin, your premier resource for swimming pool transmitted diseases and Ouija board bullshit.
God damn it.
Representing the faction of swimming pool transmitted diseases, Rocky Hardy, live from the hospital where he is getting a series of vaccinations that will do no good.
Guys, it was just the sniffles. I'm fine, said patient 0.
And somewhere in Ohio, sure to summon the worst possible bullshit, Tegan Somerset.
I just want to play a board game with my friends, guys. Just because it's a Ouija board game does not make it invalid.
Oh, no.
Ouija is not a board game, Tegan. Monopoly is a board game.
It's freaking made by Hasbro! It's a board game!
Wait, Ouija boards are made by Hasbro?
Isn't it Hasbro?
It
might be the other board game company.
Which I hope is whatever that company is, their slogan. The other board game company.
Hasbro! Yeah, Hasbro makes Ouija boards. I was right.
God damn it. Okay, fucking Hasbro.
So, everybody, we are gathered here today to put to rest our E3 business, because E3 is an undead monster that just would not quit and kept on coming at us. I believe that today we're going to cover 4.25 press conferences.
Oh, are we? Shit. Is that how many we haven't covered yet?
That is correct.
Jesus.
I refuse to give consideration of Limited Run being a full press conference, and instead we'll just talk smack about them for 30 seconds and move on. That's why they're 0.25.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to talk about Square Enix. We're going to talk about Ubisoft. We're going to talk about Sony. And we're going to talk about Nintendo. And I feel like a few of those may summon true feelings.
I think most of them are going to summon true feelings from you, because you were salty in the chat.
Okay, before we get into it, I feel like I need to say, I don't know why, but for like the past 2 weeks, not only have I been thirsting for video games, but I have also been craving brisket nachos. And I know, deep in my heart, that someone ate delicious brisket nachos at E3, and I'm missing out. I need to get to E3.
Man,
what is a brisket nacho?
So, you know, you're familiar with nachos, with the
Yes.
chips with cheese.
Yeah,
but
chips with cheese and ground beef and sometimes jalapenos and stuff on top. Yes, I'm
Right.
familiar.
Okay, so remove the like squishy like corner queso and replace it with like melted asadero cheese mixed in with peppers, usually jalapenos, but sometimes serrano, with like onion and like tomato, and then someone like slow cooked a brisket and you got to shred some of it and you just cover your nachos with it.
God damn it, Rocky. Look at what you've done to me. That's just terrible.
I'm sorry.
You're fucking selling it well.
That doesn't sound that great.
It's cool. I'm alright. It's fine. Tegan, we're gonna show you the way. We're gonna get you the good news of brisket nachos.
I'm gonna make you some dessert nachos.
That also sounds good. Walk me through dessert nachos.
You start with a chocolate-covered waffle cone base as your chip substitute.
Okay. I'm shook already.
Instead of cheese, you cover that shit in vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
Okay? And then you mix in your cookie candy combo of choice and caramel sauce. And then dust the entire thing with sprinkles.
I feel like I'd
So
be
good.
vibrating with like sugar after eating that.
Nah. If that's all it takes to get you on a sugar high,
Dang, Tegan just called me a sugar wuss. Okay. Can we talk about video games? Can we do that?
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get LRG out of my system because I got so little to say about them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Their press conference was a joke, not in a good way, but kind of in a good way.
Uh-huh.
They had various like shots of LRG staff members on a computer rendered stage, and they would pretend to walk around this fake stage.
Mm.
Yep. and they would render themselves as two-dimensional objects in a 3D space. So anytime there was a shot of them from an angle, they looked like a moving cardboard cutout.
Like in Paper Mario.
It was straight up Paper Mario in that shit. And
nice.
Yes, they had some hot announcements, like announcing that the uncut version of House and Fata Morgana is coming to PS4 and Vita. Like that's wild. But there was also some stuff. That was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They put out Cosmic Star Heroine physically for the PS4 and the Vita 2 weeks ago, literally 2 weeks ago. And then like at E3, they're like, and announcing Cosmic Star Heroine coming to Nintendo Switch. They made this announcement 2 weeks after the release of the PS4 and Vita version.
That's gnarly.
And I'm like, that is some double dip bullshit. That is like knowing damn well that there are going to be people who bought one of those versions and are going to be like, well, I would prefer a Switch version, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy it again. I'm like, you guys are real pricks. And when people call them out on it in the live chat after their conference, they're like, yeah, well, you know how it is. So LRG, all I got to say about you is you may have had some good announcements. In fact, you had some real good announcements, but I'm salty about the fact that even before the fucking stream for the conference was over, you were like, yeah, you know we done you dirty. So, fuck off with that. So I guess our first real, and I use the word real loosely, press conference to talk about is Square Enix.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
I feel like the point man for this conversation should probably be Rocky Hardy, being that there was all of that hot Kingdom Hearts 3 coverage.
Blah. Dude, it's fake.
It's not fake. It's coming.
They're lying to us.
No,
like, why
not.
would we believe them?
No.
Tegan,
No, it's real.
Tegan, they spent like what, a year and a half telling us that it was going to come out in 2018, and the first thing they tell us pre 3 is that it's coming out late January 2019.
I feel like somebody accidentally hit a send tweet button on that.
Tegan.
But yeah, nope. Nope. It's coming. It's coming. I have the belief.
Oh my god!
I have the trust. I have the faith. I have the pre-order. On the plus side, it's paid off.
Oh man.
So, what did you guys think of the what stood out for you for the Square Enix press conference? Like, did anything stand out at you at the Square Enix press conference? Like,
Shadow of the Tomb Raider feels like it's gonna be like Hitman.
Yeah, but it looks dope. Yo, they had some weird ass tech. Yo, when she shot that dude with the arrow from the tree and then like hung him from the tree and fucking chokeholded him back down, I was like, oh shit, she could do that? Man, she's like picking up like items like a la Hitman. Like she picked up that gas canister and just watched these 3 dudes like walk around and then just drops it above them and then like shoots it and burns all of them. Like, fuck, this bitch is a savage. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Does anybody remember the first Tomb Raider reboot where they're like, murder really sticks with Laura. She's all fucked up because she's having to do these murders. Because it sure seems like Laura has no qualms about murder anymore. Like, at all.
Laura's like, murder is a part of life. We keep going.
Yup. Yeah, she's like, I'm here to fill up my murder punch card and then get a free murder. Just, damn. It's kind of weird because for a presser that actually had content, it felt very empty. Because I see the Tomb Raider thing and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is coming out in September. I'm going to buy it, but you're not really telling me anything new about this thing. Like they're like, there's a system called becoming one with the jungle. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, you have a system called become one with the jungle.
That was a little OD.
Yeah. A little much.
And some of the stuff that they talked about, I wish they had given us more detail on. Like when they started to talk a little bit about Captain Spirit, and they're like, Captain Spirit is, a free standalone thing that is the bridge into the next Life is Strange series from Don't Nod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, can you give us some details on when the actual next chapter of Life is Strange is coming?
They're like, no.
Yeah, they're like, Captain Spirit, though, it's free June 25th. And I'm like, okay, that's
June 26th.
great. Oh, it's June 26th? Okay.
June 26th, 100% free, set in the Life is Strange universe. So whatever stuff is coming out it's all in the same universe, which makes me like, what other crazy powers are we gonna see?
Yeah.
Like, what, is this like the beginning of like an X-Men saga sort of thing? I'm in. I'm excited. Captain Spirit looks super cute, too. Like, I can't wait.
It does look very cute.
I gotta wait, like, less than 10 days at this point, and I can't.
Man, I'm just so worried that game is going to be a little tiny, huge bummer that is going to require everybody who plays it to need hugs. Because I see that little kid who seems so sweet.
I already need hugs.
Yeah,
he's so sweet. I need a hug from him.
And like, his dad seems like a disappointing fuck up. And this is just from the trailer, and I'm like, oh man, none of this is going to end well. None of this ends well. This kid just wants to play with his little, like, blanket cape, and the world is shitty. Here we go.
It's like real life. Oh my god.
Yeah. Don't Nod bringing you the summer tears. Some of the stuff that, like, they announced for the first time, I was like, but why? Or...
Like what?
When they show that video for the Quiet Man, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
It felt like a joke. And they were like, more coming in August. And I'm like, everyone is going to make fun of you until then. I hate to let you know this, Square, but you really fucked up this reveal because this is some dumb shit. And I love dumb shit. Like, but that is some dumb shit. I'm sure that don't represent the majority with this reaction, but when they showed the game from Platinum, what was it? Babylon Rising.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Babylon's Fall. Yeah, Babylon's Fall. My reaction was like, lol, so that's where all the unused assets from Scalebound went.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Because, like, Platinum does really, really good work when they do really, really good work. But Platinum also does very bad work when they do bad work. And it really depends on, like, how many people were on the team, who was on that team, whether they had, like, an effective leader on the team. Was it, like, mercenary work for hire stuff? Or did, like, I want to know whether this is a game that Platinum was making and Square agreed to publish it, or whether Square came to them and said, here's something that we need made. Like after that really, really shitty Legend of Korra game and that really, really shitty Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, just saying Platinum is not enough to, like, get my heart aflutter anymore. I need more deets. I mean, you want to tell me that, like, Yoko Taro is involved? I'm going to be fucking excited because I'm like, all right, that's a guy I know can lead a Platinum project. But I need more. What'd you guys think?
It was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
But it still looked cool. I guess I need to wait till I know more. I am getting, like, the same feeling that I had when I started getting into Octopath. Like, I saw it. Ooh, the demo's live again. That's also dope. But, like, I remember, like, seeing some Octopath and, like, this looks like it could be cool. Like, I'd see the bones here, but I don't believe it yet.
Yeah. Looks like voice acting is a go for the US version of Dragon Quest XI.
True.
But, like, for me, Square Enix's conference was more notable for the stuff that wasn't in it.
Walk me through that, man.
Okay. Like, the one thing that makes me believe that Kingdom Hearts 3 is real and is actually coming in January
is because Aqua got Norded.
Who, what?
Aqua got Norded!
He doesn't know.
Aqua got Norded!
Oh my god. It's really specific Kingdom Hearts narrative stuff, Brian.
You
Okay.
gotta know the lore. You don't know the lore?
He doesn't know the lore.
No, I don't know the lore.
How do you not know the lore?
Tegan, you didn't know the lore like a week ago.
Aww. Brian, you're killing me.
Okay, but Brian...
Yeah, the one thing that makes me believe that Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually real and actually coming January 29th is that they didn't also have any information whatsoever about Final Fantasy VII Remake in their press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like, hey guys, work continues on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Or any information about the big-ass third-person open-world Avengers game that they're working on for Disney, which is the reason that Crystal Dynamics isn't the studio doing the new Tomb Raider game, and instead that's Eidos Montreal, because Crystal Dynamics is working on the Avengers game. So we didn't hear a single thing about the Avengers game, which has been in production now for 2 years, or Final Fantasy VII Remake. They have got an awful lot of money riding on both of those.
True.
Because they're punching above their weight with that Disney contract. And Final Fantasy VII Remake is a real... You thought Final Fantasy 15 was expensive. Woo, Nelly. So, like...
I don't believe in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
So what you're saying is that's your Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming. Not for at least 10 years. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I think that it will eventually happen when at some point they take Nomura off the project and bring it to Bada to rescue it. But yeah, like that. I guess my big takeaway from the conference was like, okay, like the stuff you're telling me about that I want is stuff I already knew I wanted. Like I already knew I wanted Tomb Raider. Telling me about some like hokey new system of becoming one with the jungle doesn't really do it for me. And considering that the premier stealth murder franchise unveiled its sequel on Friday with some really wild shit in their initial reveal. Like the Hitman stream of them doing like a playthrough of the Miami level included Agent 47 murdering a man by hitting him with a large fish and dressing in a giant, like, flamingo mascot outfit. So it's like, okay, look, shooting a gas can is the old shit. Like, I get it. It looks fun. I'm
gonna create a mission where you have to kill someone in the flamingo outfit. That's what you said. That is your brain. You went, what ridiculous thing can I do with that flamingo outfit?
Exactly. Because, like, when I think about, like, all the stealth mechanics in Hitman, every one of them feels like a really well-designed toy. You know, like, all these things look fun. They look fun to play with. You're like, okay, this all looks cool. And, like, the stealth in Shadow of the Tomb Raider looks effective. Like, it looks good. But, like, at this point, like, what I'm here for that series is, like, the narrative and like the movement and the exploration and the tombs. Like the stealth murder is probably like 8th on my list of things I like about that series at this point. Dragon Quest XI, like, okay, I know it's coming. I know it's coming in September. I have known it's coming in September for months. Thanks for reminding me it exists, I guess. And they didn't tell us anything about Captain Spirit that we didn't already know from the Microsoft press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it kind of felt like the stuff that was in the conference we already wanted and we already cared about. And
I feel like Square didn't need a press conference this year.
Yeah.
Because everything they showed was showed at Microsoft at Sony.
Exactly. Like, anything, like, because they fucking... Anybody who had a stage, they put Kingdom Hearts on it. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, my dude, could you show Goofy running about doing bullshit?
Can I say I fucking called the Frozen level, though?
Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah.
1,000 years ago.
I don't know why they were trying to... I guess we'll get to that when we talk about Sony, but, like, Jesus Christ, like, discussion of Kingdom Hearts 3 is inevitable with E3 this year. That shit is like dog poo on your shoe. You cannot escape Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's because it's coming.
Oh, apparently so. You guys have any more thoughts on Square Enix, or should we move on to some bigger fish?
I really wish that we had some news on Final Fantasy 14, but well, we did. I mean, we got the Monster Hunter crossover. Oh wait, there was news, but outside of that, like, meh.
Yeah, and that's a good moment to kind of pause. Like talking about the Final Fantasy 14 crossover. Is who I feel like could have had a press conference this year and would have been more meaningful than Square's? Capcom. Exactly. Rocky, you know my heart. Like,
I'm trying, man. I'm just trying to listen.
But, like, talk about, like, somebody who kept on showing up at other people's press conferences and, like, running their own little, like, smaller events going on at E3 that kept on killing it with everything they were fucking doing. Like, all of the impressions of Mega Man 11 that were coming out of this show were good. Like, everybody who got their hands on Mega Man 11 said it's really fucking good. They wowed people with the announcement of Devil May Cry 5 at Microsoft. They did something at Sony that we'll get to then, which also blew people's mind. I guess, yeah, Resident Evil 2, the remake, looks really good and is dropping soon. The Monster Hunter World Final Fantasy 14 crossover. And then they continued the rehabilitation of Street Fighter V by stirring up all of the social media attention by sponsoring this Street Fighter V fight between Xavier Woods and Kenny Omega that just blew up all over Twitter. They did some work. Like, I'm really surprised. Like, I did not realize that Capcom had that many people who still worked at Capcom who had their shit together. So good on them. They should have had a press conference. And you guys want to talk some Ubisoft?
Ubisoft!
Let's do it.
All right. So Ubisoft had a press conference, and
they led with a marching band and a fursuit.
Yes. They have the most, like, E3-ass E3 press conference I think there is. Just Yep. Like, they just do not give a shit. I suppose that's the official, like, we have defeated Vivendi Universal, like, fursuit dance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 2 years in a row with Miyamoto on a press conference stage. Is it an actual stage where Nintendo people do Nintendo things? No. Apparently, like, Eve can just, like, pick up the phone and be like, hey, you got that Miyamoto?
Mm-hmm.
Can I borrow the Miyamoto?
I mean, it's like, Microsoft stole Todd Howard. They kidnapped him for a while, so, like, yeah, Ubisoft's gonna steal Miyamoto. That's a thing. That's like a joke now. That's like a joke now.
Oh, no.
So they showed a ample number of products. They also showed a terrified Elijah Wood.
They did.
They actually did, I think, the celebrity thing pretty well this year.
Mm-hmm.
I just liked when the teleprompter died and Elijah Wood got the look of fear in his face.
Oh no, they put the fear in his heart. That's the mix-up, man.
Yeah, and it just that was real solid. But at the Ubisoft press conference, which was your preference? Terrified Elijah Wood or smug as fuck Joseph Gordon-Levitt? So,
okay, I want to talk about Joseph Gordon-Levitt because, like, he was really hyped to be there, which I appreciate. Because this, like, hit record collab is actually a big deal for him. But this fucking hit record collab is, like, awful. Like, it's legitimately bad. I did my research.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why it's bad then, because I have not done my research.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, hit record, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's, like, baby, he made a platform for artists to collab and share their work together, has partnered with Ubisoft to create the art and music of Beyond Good and Evil 2. So the opportunity, quote unquote, is to help create, like, artwork that will, like, show up in various places throughout the game. And since it's a collaborating platform, what it'll do is that, like, you'll see someone's art and then someone will, like, remix or, like, make the next iteration of that art. And if that art is ultimately selected, everyone who collabed on that work gets a share of, like, $50,000. And that's how much Ubisoft is essentially budgeted for that. Like, they're a multi-million-dollar company, and they're having, like, a bunch of people fight over $50,000 when they could have, hired a person, hired a team, which is what they definitely have the money to do. They're just, like, partnering with, like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and, like, the next iteration of late-stage capitalism, and it's super weird. Like, I'm not about it.
Yeah, it's weird for a press conference that, for the most part, I really loved. This was the thing that really stuck in my craw. I was really bothered by it, especially because of the way that these resources and these assets are going to be used in world. It kind of like paints a picture of Ubisoft thinking about these things as being very throwaway, as being unimportant. One of the examples they showed is like when you pass a building, the graffiti on the building will have been designed by somebody, collaborating through hit record. And I'm like, so you're going to have thousands of people fighting over scraps on spec to design the graffiti on this fucking billboard because you're too cheap to pay a few people full time to go through the revision process to come up with the graffiti that is just right. Like, yeah. And I'm like, that seems kind of gross because you're like, we want the absolute best in-game graffiti, but we realize that, like, spending so much time on such a small asset is going to ultimately make our shareholders angry, so let's find a way to speed up the process for as little as possible. I'm like, that seems kind of fucking shitty.
Yeah. No, it is actually fucking shitty.
Yeah. And that's my main problem with, like, spec work in general. Like, if people are like, here's a contest, design our next t-shirt and win a copy of the t-shirt, that kind of thing. You're like, oh, so this way you generate lots of, like, things to pick from, and you don't expend any resources, and you get to, have the best of everything. It does not seem like a thing that people should do. And it definitely, it brought down their press conference a notch for me. I'm confident that they can do better than that. I'm confident that they can treat their community with more ethical engagement, so I'd love to see it. I'd like to see this thing go tits up, and then they come up with an alternative. I'm wondering how long that'll take. People still seem pretty angry about it, so hopefully it'll implode sooner than later. So I think that's... Rocky, is that why we're angry about it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Tegan, that's why we're angry about it.
Oh, okay.
You angry about it, Tegan?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like it's a good way for fan involvement in a project, especially, like, in the before it gets off the ground sort of thing. Like, before it gets out there. And I feel like if your design is the winning design, like, that's a cool thing to have, especially if it's not, like, super collaborated on. Like, if it's even, like, 3 other people, and you get in, like, that's that's shit you could put on your resume. But, like, I see why it has the potential to be a big problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and what I would do is when I would point to an example of somebody finding a way to use community passion-driven artistic assets ethically, something that pops to mind is Splatoon 2, which has a outlet for community enthusiasm in-game in the forms of, like, the kind of, like, faux Miiverse that sometimes shows up as graffiti in world and not just voice bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because at no point does Nintendo ever, like, dangle a carrot in front of those enthusiastic team members to try and, like, gin up a mythical better quality of work. They're not like, hey guys, you could get paid for better Splatoon graffiti if you give us your very best Splatoon graffiti. They just, like, turn the community loose and let the community do whatever they're truly passionate about, as opposed to like shooting for some like artificial professional target, which means that like it gets filled with memes, it gets filled with fun stuff, like it actually gets filled with what the community is actually passionate about. And I think that if you turned the Beyond Good and Evil fan base, which is very passionate, loose, then they would probably, if they weren't operating under the artificial constraint of the possibility of a payout, they would probably be recording very different music or making very different art. And I think that's my problem is that it's not a true reflection of those people's passion, those people's fandom. It's a reflection of the fact that they hope to get enough money to cover their electric bill. So, yeah, man. But yeah, all right. So let's broaden our scope back to the whole of the Ubisoft fucking press conference. They announced some stuff. They gave us more details on some stuff. What hopped out at y'all?
I really like Division 2. It looks dope.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I did not expect to give a shit about the Division 2.
Yeah, me either, honestly.
Yeah, I'm signed up for the beta. I'm excited. I want to fuck around. I want to be a sharpshooter.
I hate scripted in-game audio so bad, though.
True.
I hate it so bad. I'm like, no one fucking talks like that.
Mm-hmm.
No one talks like that! Ugh. My legs are stuck. Can you help me? No, it's, come back here, get me out of this fucking shit so I don't die! Whatever. Also, when I was looking, when they were showing, like, the video for it, the breakout happened, they're saying, at Christmas, like Black Friday-ish, right? Wherein this game is taking place in May, June, none of that grass should be lawn level. All that shit should be overgrown as fuck, and it's not. Like, in May alone, I had to cut my front lawn 4 times! And I probably could have cut it 2 more times easy, but I was like, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. My lawn is too soupy. So, like, the fact that all the grass is, like, 3 inches high. No, it's not. It should be, like, knee length at least. Do you understand how grass works? Jesus. Have you been to the East Coast? I don't know. I was like, man, I want whatever magic grass they have that stops growing at 3 inches.
Here we go. Tegan roasting Ubisoft on their
grass
ignorant
tech.
grass tech.
I have that same problem in zombie apocalypse stuff, because all the grass is real. I'm like, no, it would not be that low. That's like day 1 shit. Maybe first week shit. After that, it should start growing like crazy. Nobody's out there mowing the lawns. What the heck?
I hope there's one guy out there mowing lawns that he's just like this. He's this traveling groundskeeper Ronin who's just like, I'm here for the lawns.
And he also mows down zombies. He's got like a super high industrial strength tractor.
You know what? He doesn't even do that. He like straight stealths that shit. He's got like a silenced lawnmower. And he's like, I'm just here for the grass.
You mean you can do that. That you just push it and the blades just like scoop it. That's like a thing. It's like a vintage. It's like an aesthetic lawnmower.
What'd you guys think of Skull and Bones? What we saw?
I thought it was fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm not excited about it, but it is a video game.
Yeah.
How much open sea versus pirate ships? I mean, the Indian Ocean is significantly smaller than where Sea of Thieves is taking place, but like, how much ocean versus people?
Yeah, like knowing how many players are in the instances is kind of an integral thing. Like, am I going to be running into other dudes all the time? Like, that's kind of an important thing. Also, how easy is it to party up? And I kind of wish they had talked more about loot boxes, because I got the impression that game has some looty-ass loot boxes. So I wish that they had given us some more details on that. Were they able to reawaken either of your interests in For Honor, where you're like, oh, For Honor is a video game that came out last year.
I still think For Honor is dope. I don't think it's for me.
I still like For Honor. I'm interested in seeing how everything plays out. I really like the new China group. The Marching Fire. I really like their designs. It looks good.
They do look good.
They look real good. They don't just look good, they look real good. I'm hyped for that part. But like, I don't know about like Castle Siege mode, you know, I don't know how the 4v4 is gonna work. Like, I wanna see it. I wish there was a demo so that we could see it. Or that they like showed more, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I it's weird because it did nothing for me, but I'm glad they're doing it, which probably sounds weird. Because one of the things that Ubisoft has gotten really, really good, and we've talked about on the show before, is their post-launch support of games. That, like, they don't just sit out a game to live or die and then walk away from it. They keep at it. And, they mentioned during the show that, like, the current player base for Rainbow Six Siege is 35 million for a game that, like, a lot of the press called a bomb when it came out. And that's because those guys kept on doing stuff in an effort to support that game and build the base, and it worked. I don't think that For Honor is ever going to be a game with an active player base of 35 million, but I do think that they will likely grow that base. I mean, they gave away the game for a week. They slashed the price on console stores. Like, it is obvious that they want to build a pipeline of people who will buy expansions. I just don't think that I'm going to be one of them. Starlink, Battle for Atlas.
It looks cool. I think Star Fox being there is weird, but like Ubisoft's been weird in the past years.
Like, I don't know about this weird feeling of Ubisoft getting me excited about Nintendo properties. Like, last year, they're like, check out Mario. He's going to fuck around with these rabbits. It's going to be a good time, I promise.
And we were like, I mean, maybe it'll be a good time. And then we were like, holy shit, this is a great time.
Right.
I wish I'd brought more friends to this party. And now it's like, is this going to be another one? Where we're like, I don't know. And then we're going to play it and be like, fuck, this is good. You can play the entire story mode as Star Fox.
Yep.
Sick.
And I kind of want to do that. I want to build my little silly plastic R-Wing, and I want to fly around and do that. Like, I saw some, like, lots and lots of impressions from the show floor talking about how it feels to play Starlink. They were like, imagine if Star Fox wasn't shitty. You know, that's how
Chill.
And I'm like, the prospect of playing a good Star Fox game with Star Fox, even if the game's not called, just can you feel how tempting that is? You're like, man, because I've always liked the characters in Star Fox. Like, I think the characters are cool. It's just like, I just don't like the way the game feels, and so the prospect of an actual ship combat game that feels good and has
it'll inspire the Star Fox team.
Yeah, it's such a weird feeling. And then to hear that this Donkey Kong expansion for Mario plus Rabbids is literally the size of half of the fucking main campaign for Mario plus Rabbids. Mm-hmm. It's like, yep, here you go.
You wanted more Rabbids? Here you go.
And I'm like, man, like, you guys are just fucking killing it.
They gave Peach a selfie stick! They gave Peach Rabbit a selfie stick by making her tape her phone to a stick. I love it. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
I have the Peach Rabbit statue. I got it for Christmas.
Man.
It was a good time. I'm not okay with transference. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah,
Wait,
me too.
Really?
Yeah, no, it makes me feel weird. Why is this dad messing around in his son's brain? And at that point, like, if you're messing around in his brain, is that your dad? I feel weird about it. I feel real, like, I have all the unsettled vibes. I don't like it. I'm not cool.
No, that makes sense.
Was this child kidnapped and, like, his brain's already been fucked with to the point that he thinks this person's his dad? And he's not his dad?
Oh, jeez.
Did I unveil the plot twist with only seeing, like, 30 seconds of gameplay footage? Maybe. Who fucking knows? I got the weird vibes. I'm not cool. I need to know how it goes. But at the same time, like, I don't want to know how it goes.
My reason for disinterest is not as potent as Tegan's. I just looked at it and I was like, this seems boring.
What?
Yeah.
How is that boring? Someone's fucking around in your brain!
I think it was because of the weird, like, way that they were using FMV in it, like the strange FMV integration. It made me a lot like the Quiet Man at Square Enix's conference think, like, is this game going to feature a lot of just sitting around? Like, watching video cuts, like, play? Like, because I don't want to just sit around for Elijah Wood's bullshit. So, I don't know. Yeah, like, I'm not sold. Yeah, not for me. Did either of you guys have any thoughts on Beyond Good and Evil 2 beyond the hit record stuff?
It looks really pretty. We got zero gameplay, so...
Yeah. Like, I still feel like we don't have a good enough idea as to, like, what that video game is yet. I will tell you what we have a good idea about is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah! Can someone please write Assassin's Creed Odyssey in the Super Mario Odyssey font?
Oh no.
Please, I want to see that so badly. As soon as I saw it was called Odyssey, I was like, please, someone do that.
Oh, don't worry,
I
Tegan.
want to put it on the Tumblr.
It took about 20 minutes for the internet to do that.
Yay! Good.
Yeah. I am all about that. Like, it's weird because I'm pretty sure that, like, as I'm now getting into this series and getting into the lore and stuff, like, I'm worried that if I go back and play some of the older games, I just like them because they've done such work in, like, changing the structure, starting with Origins. I'm wondering how many people there are being onboarded to this series now who might be interested and go like, wow, these seem really fucking fun. And like maybe go back and pick up like Brotherhood or something and go, what is this bullshit?
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah. But like, for what they're
okay.
doing...
They'll end up remaking them, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess there's that. But like what they showed of Odyssey, like I am all about like, it looks so goddamn good. Like I cannot wait to get in there.
I like that you can be gay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that you can be gay!
They finally let them be gay, and it's a whole thing.
They let both the girl and the boy can be gay. You can just fuck your way across Greece. Do it. That's what Greece is all about. Just go.
That's what Greece is all about.
Well, I like the fact that there are romance targets in an Assassin's Creed game. That's a new thing. I'm like, oh man, romance targets. I'm all about it. And talking about like the way that you like interact with just like rando NPCs in the world, and the idea of recruiting people to like be on your boat, and opening up different side quest chains depending on dialogue choices. I'm like, oh my god, like, all of these things are things that we've had in other RPGs before, but one of the things I really enjoyed about Origins was just the fastidious attention to detail about the historical setting of Egypt. So the idea of an RPG which is going to give me some of those like quality of life features that I've had in other RPGs, but doing so in like the setting of ancient Greece is very attractive. And the idea of like participating in those like big ass battles in the Peloponnesian War, like that seems incredibly fun. The idea of like NPCs having access to like their own like power tree and it being able to do stuff like build their stamina to unlock specials, like that also seems attractive. Like it looks like it's going to be fun to play this video game, and I'm way on board the hype train for it. I think that the path that they went on to reboot that series is a good one, and I like that how this seems to like effectively expand the ideas set forth in Origins. They said that the game has been in development for 3 years, so I'm wondering what the next Assassin's Creed game will be, the one after Odyssey. Also, is the current naming convention Assassin's Creed and then an O word? And if so, what is the next one? Is it going to be Assassin's Creed Oblivion? Is it like, what is it?
Assassin's Creed Organization.
Assassin's Creed Orangutan.
Assassin's Creed Orange. Just orange.
No, it's obviously Assassin's Creed Octoling.
Oh, yeah! Nice. I'm down.
Yeah.
You play as 8 different assassins in that game.
They're all trying to figure out their squids are kids.
Yeah.
The Order of the Tentacle.
Oh, God.
I feel like overall it was like a super strong conference brought down by the sleaziness of the hit record thing. Like if there had been no hit record thing, I would have nothing but good things to say about their conference. So come on, Ubisoft. We know you can do better. We see you do better on the reg.
Get it together, Ubisoft.
Yeah. So Sony.
Sony wins! Sony let everybody be gay! Everybody's gay! I'm so happy!
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy Pride Month! Ellie's gay, confirmed.
Well, Ellie's gay confirmed in literally the first game in this series, but...
Is it?
Yes.
Well, no, but that was another thing. Like, there was a lot...
The Last of Us.
There was a lot of fear that character wasn't going to be, like, continuously canonically gay. Like, especially how some of the backlash played out. And so, like, them, like, doubling down on it with just, like, a full-on, like, lesbian kiss in the trailer. It was really big.
And a long one, too.
Well, when the standalone DLC for the first Last of Us came out, like, that standalone DLC for the first Last of Us is essentially a love story for Ellie. And for those of you who haven't played that DLC, it's gay.
It is gay.
So, like,
is it gay? Is it good gay?
It's good gay.
So I don't know what these basement dwellers thought was going to fucking happen. Like, but they're dumb. They're dumb. Like, what in what world are they going to, like, reboot this fucking character into, like, some, like, workout bra wearing, thirsty, heteronormative, just player 2 waiting for, like, the male protagonist to show up. Like, it's not gonna fucking happen. But the thing that really stood out for me in the Last of Us 2, like, gameplay that they showed was that, like, as the murder was in, like, the Tomb Raider stuff that they showed, where I was like, yeah, nothing feels special about this murder. Like, it's murder that I'll do, because it'll get me to all the other stuff in the game that I do want to engage with, but it doesn't feel like magnificent murder. All that murder in the Last of Us Part 2 gameplay looked fucking magnificent.
I was like, oh no.
That was excellent murder. Yeah. Like, they made everything look, like, meaningful and impactful and just, like, oh shit, like, everything here is incredibly critical. Like, it just, crawling under the car, like, sitting there poised, waiting for someone to look under the car to shoot them in the face. Like, I spent so much of that gameplay trailer watching the ammo counter on Ellie's gun, going, "Oh no, Ellie, you're out of ammo. Oh no." And once they got into like the old ruined department store in the cosmetics area, and they're like people smashing over counters and.
Right. I was like, I'm like, she jumps behind that round counter and I'm like, this is the worst fucking hiding place you could have fucking found in this entire thing. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? This is the worst. And then, like, I had an anxiety. I had like 4 anxiety maybe in that game. Lord. In that gameplay trailer. I was just like, no! I don't like it. And then everything was fine. So it was good. I really hated the talking segment part right afterwards, though.
Yeah, I guess, like, backing up to talk about the conference itself, like, Sony, I see what you were trying to do, putting your audience into a room that looks like the room that Ellie is in at the beginning of the fucking presentation, but, like, that does nothing for any of us at home. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm sure that everybody who was in your audience did not appreciate having to be bussed to the other location after they were done with watching just that one presentation. Like, they literally loaded up everybody in a bus, and they're like, okay, let's go to where the rest of the presentation is.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like, that strikes me as dumb. Like, I don't think that the value of it played that well on screen, because it took some people, like, a second to realize, like, oh, they're sitting in a room that looks like the room. Oh.
I was like, my first tweet for Sony is, this is an interesting venue. And then my next tweet is, oh, that's why this venue is like that. And then they're like, wait, why is everybody leaving? This is killing my buzz.
Yeah. Because watching, Sid Shulman stall, like, okay, are they there yet? No? Okay, what'd you guys think? Oh, they're still not there? What'd you guys think again?
Right.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, man, this doesn't really play. I was kind of surprised that they had anything to show other than the 4 games they said that they were going to show. Because Sony said, we're only going to show 4 games. And in truth, they only showed 4 games, but they had, like, video presentations from some of their third-party publishing partners. Mm-hmm. Some of which were like, okay, whatever. Like, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, okay, whatever. Destiny 2 expansion, okay, whatever. But new game from Remedy, oh shit. Like, Control, I'm all about that. Like, I put that into my veins now. Resident Evil 2 reveal, and then revealing that that's coming out. Is that the same day as Kingdom Hearts 3?
No.
Is it a week before Kingdom Hearts 3? Or like,
I think it's a week before.
Yeah. And apparently that thing was on the floor and playable, and the demo that people were putting their hands on the floor was something like a 30-40 minute demo. All of the secrets from the original Resident Evil 2 are back in it. You can play the game as a giant hunk of tofu. So, wild. So they eventually got the audience seated into the second location, at which point they showed Ghost of Tsushima. Thoughts?
True. It's still cool, man.
Wait, can you say that again?
No.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Tsushima. TSU. It's a tsit. Tsushima. I like how everybody got all mad about they're like, why is this white dude up there? But like, he is literally recognized as one of the few masters of that instrument. Like,
oh yeah.
Like that, they picked literally the best, a recognized master in Japan. Like, calm your tits, everyone. It's okay. It's not cultural appropriation when you dedicate your life to a fucking craft, okay?
I think that part of the problem there is that Sucker Punch, as a developer, has had some historical missteps in the way they have dealt with race in their games. Mm-hmm. And so, like, folks are already on alert when they're dealing with Sucker Punch because they're like, hey, has Sucker Punch learned from mistakes of the past or not? And so, like, when you have a developer who's kind of already on noticed.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that whole thing could have been avoided if they put a thing up that said, like, hey, listen to this flute playing by this dude, master of his fucking craft. You know? I don't know. Because everyone was just like, why is this dude up? I like that we're getting 3 badass samurai games in the same year.
Yeah, it's actually dope.
I'm ready. I want to see this cage fight. 3 samurai walk into a cage. Who's gonna win?
So what did you guys think of the gameplay that we saw?
It looks smooth. I like it.
It makes me just want to wander around in that space.
Yeah.
Because when they said some stuff last year during Paris Games Week about the game, like, we're just going to dump you into this environment and there's no HUD and you're just going to go where you go. And I'm like, oh, like when they showed gameplay, sure as shit, there's no HUD, nothing. And I'm like, man, like, obviously they're showing this like major plot point right now because they want like kind of, you know, gas for a good presentation. But the stuff I want to see is the kind of shit that, like, I think that all 3 of us enjoyed so much of when we played Breath of the Wild, which is just fucking off and wandering around. Like, I cannot wait to fuck off and wander around in that world. Like, it seems like a really beautiful space to do so in. When he came over that ridge and you could see all that grass and it was just reacting to the wind, I was like, oh my god, like, this is some solid wind tech. This is a beautiful world. When those leaves caught on fire in that fight at the end, I'm like, oh god, this just looks like such a gorgeous space to, like, be in. And, like, good on Sucker Punch, because, like, generally the people who I'm like, how did these wizards make a PlayStation do this, are Naughty Dog, which they did with Last of Us Part 2, but I am not used to having somebody else invoke an even bigger how did these wizards do this reaction. And Ghost of Tsushima definitely was a how did these wizards make a PlayStation do this moment. Because it looks too good. It looks too good. And then next up was Death Stranding. Anybody here know what Death Stranding is yet?
No. It looks like what would happen if you actually made Link carry all of his supplies instead of putting them in a magical pocket. Just like wandering around a barren wasteland with fucking suitcase after suitcase full of junk. I'm ready. Why did he swallow the baby? How is the baby inside him but also outside him in the egg thing? What the flashing? What is going on?
What does the clicker light thing do?
Yeah. It tells you that the invisible ghosty monster is close. You have to be quiet to avoid the invisible ghosty monster. I feel like the babies can see the invisible ghost monster, and that's how they make the clicker work, because the clicker only worked when the fetus was in the egg thing, and the fetus was also, like, eyes open, looking around, out, like actually looking at stuff, hands against the glass. Like, what is going on? Kojima, I'm scared.
The ghost monsters also appeared to have umbilical cords going into the sky.
With full-on humans that look like they're hanging? Like they've been hanging?
So, like, I have no idea what that video game is, and I'm here for it.
Well, yeah. Because it's fucking Kojima. Because he's a madman. And we're just gonna do whatever the fuck he pulls out, man. That's just what's gonna happen.
It kind of, like, makes me hopeful about. It's weird. Like there's very few video games that make me hopeful about the future of video games, because I'm like, this is $100 million art game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, like
right? Oh my god.
Yeah, like games like this normally have budgets which are considerably smaller and are like small Steam releases or small itch releases or whatever. But Kojima's like, I have access to all of the money and I'm going to spend it. And I am not going to make something which is like mainstream or accessible or whatever. It's so weird to see like a whole world be excited over a fucking impenetrable art project. Like, that's crazy to me. It's really fucking cool. Also, I would pay real money to watch Kojima, like, do shots and hang out with Joseph Fares, but that is an unrelated idea. Like, man.
I don't think we want them in the same.
Really?
Joseph Fares, Kojima, and Swery all walk into a bar.
Oh, Jesus
Suda51
God.
is there.
Oh, God. No, the games don't come out. You just get these weird-ass trailers and nothing else. You're just like, what is going on? And they're just like, coming soon. And you're like, when is soon? And they're like, soon. You actually have a week-long boss fight, and part of it requires you to literally be quiet and not move your entire controller for 5 minutes at a time. Just like, what is going on?
First, cancel your cell phone. Second, don't move the controller for 5 minutes.
Why? Now reactivate your cell phone, when you have 30 seconds! What is going on? I'm lost, I'm confused! Help me.
Oh, Lord.
It was weird because, like, one of the things I wanted from a lot of the E3 conferences, like, especially, like, Square and Bethesda, was like, where are more details? Where are more details? Tell me actual facts about these products. But when it came to this particular game, I'm like, I'm cool with it. If you want to fuck with me, I'm cool with it. Like, whatever bullshit you don't want to tell me, I'm cool with it. I am immune to the need for data for this game. Like, if he just wants to keep on bullshitting me around until the day that game comes out, like, I will walk into a store and spend $60 knowing what I know right now.
Yep. I would too.
Yeah.
I would also, I'm also, whenever we get a date for this thing, we don't have a date for it yet, right? I didn't see a date.
Nope.
When we have a date for this thing, I'm taking that week off of work so that I could just sit down and try and figure out what the fuck is going on. I'm gonna have a whiteboard, I'm gonna get push pins, I'm gonna scraps of paper everywhere, screenshot the fuck out of it, I'm gonna be that guy with the cigarette and the crazy hair. Like,
oh no.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
They closed with the Spider-Mans.
Which was dope.
Which was dope. And I'm glad that it was a reminder that, like, hey everybody, this is a Spider-Man game from Insomniac. You remember how much fun it is to move in an Insomniac game? Yep, here you go.
We made moving in Spider-Man fun. Also, they kept smart ass Spider-Man, which is my favorite Spider-Man.
True.
I don't like serious down to business Spider-Man as much. Spider-Man should be a shithead, and he's being a shithead, and I love it.
Yeah. Man, the thing that really got me in that trailer was all the movement stuff. The thing that kind of pushed me away, though, was when they're like, oh, and this whole game is full of, like, open world activities. And I don't think that just saying you have open world activities is a bullet point for me anymore. Just saying that with, like, no additional detail, like, there's a variety of activities. Like, okay. All right. Because, like, I don't have the most time. Like, my day is not filled with free hours. So just saying there's a lot to do, it is not really enough. Like, I need more detail. Because there are games with, like, a ton of shit to do where I'd like to engage with all that stuff. like i.e. Assassin's Creed, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But there's also games where you can see that most of the open world activities are actually busy work. And you're like, holy shit, like, I don't want to collect all of the fucking golden omelets. Like, they're not fun. So I want more details on what those open world activities look like. Because, like, when I played through L.A. Noire, like, I didn't engage with a single open world activity whatsoever. Because, like, it was obvious that, like, they existed only to, like, pad out the game. And that the game was truly just, like, the plot through and the investigation stuff. I was like, oh, I can stop this street crime. So I want more details on it. It's also weird that, like, we're only a couple months out from release on this game. And they've said in the game that there are segments of the game where you are Peter Parker doing Peter Parker stuff. And they haven't shown us what that looks like at all. Like, I want to know about the parts where I'm not my Spider-Man outfit and I'm running around being Peter Parker.
How much of a dumb shit? Like, am I still an awkward little geek boy?
Yeah, like, how old is Peter Parker in this game? Because, through the history of Spider-Man comics, like, we've had Spider-Man from, like, being a high schooler to up being, like, a working photojournalist. So,
yeah,
how old is our Peter Parker? I don't think we know how old our Peter Parker is. And speaking of photojournalist, like, I'm, with as big as photo modes are in games these days, like, Spider-Man seems like a perfect candidate for that. I'd love to know some details, like, if there's, like, any kind of, like, cool systemic in-world integration. Like, because if you can take pictures as Peter Parker, that seems like it would be a pretty hot thing. Like, so I wish there was some more specifics about what those open world activities are. Like, I know that running around that world is going to be a lot of fun. I know that, like, fighting is going to be a lot of fun, but I want to know about the stuff that happens between those moments. You guys have any closing thoughts on Sony in general?
I don't know why in the second part of this, this presentation, after they've gotten off the bus and they were doing this, there were just these random, like, music breakups. Like, there was a banana on a guitar, and then, like, da-da-da-da-da, and then there was a dude with a trumpet, and then, like, game, and then there was a piano guy, but, like, he played badly. I don't fucking know what all that was about. It was very weird. Sony, like, you've done better presentations. This was a weird presentation. Lots of good content? What? But I don't understand, like, were you trying to be, like, whimsical and quirky? Because that's not, like, your forte. That's not your job, you know? I don't know. Felt weird.
Rocky?
I think Sony was fine. I'm not super excited about it. There were some games that were cool. I'd like to see more, like, focused experiences, I think. Even from Sony. Because I know, like, everyone wants to make, like, every game this open world, like, playground, which is cool, but I don't think everything needs to be that way.
Yeah, it's weird because of the 4 games that they focused on. All the gameplay that they showed from those 4 games was third person, like, locomotion, exploring, like, large map kind of thing. Like, and the only reason I'm willing to go a little light on them with that is that we don't know a great deal about what Death Stranding is, but historically, Kojima likes third-person move dude around things, so there's no reason to believe that that's not what he's going to make. It's going to be weird, but that's what it's going to be. So, like, they didn't really show anything that didn't fit into that mold. And the games that they have been releasing recently have been more of that as well. Like, God of War, Detroit Become Lame. So, I'd like to see them moving beyond what they obviously feel like is their safe territory, like their the place where they know that they can thrive. Because I think that they definitely have the resources to make more types of games. I wish they had talked a little bit about Dreams. You know, Dreams sounds interesting. Dreams sounds exciting. The prospect of being able to like make my own stuff is a thing that like has, kept me invested in Mario Maker for a long time and Hitman for a long time. So having even more flexibility with tools sounds even cooler. So, and that is apparently dropping soon-ish. So I wish they had talked about that. What's weird is that apparently Concrete Genie was there on the show floor playable. They even showed it later during their live streams, but didn't really provide any details on it. I wonder if the reason they didn't talk about Concrete Genie is it felt like thematically dissonant with some of the other stuff that they showed, but also Spider-Man feels considerably lighter than the other games that they showed.
Why have the random rock bananas and shit in your... Like, their entire thing was like, very intense game, random musical break, very intense game, random musical break! And I'm like, why? Are you trying to set a mood here? Like, what the fuck?
Right. So maybe what they could have done is shown Concrete Genie and then played some somber-ass music.
Yeah,
like, here you
that
go.
Worked.
Yeah, this is just as dissonant as the other stuff. But I feel like overall it was good. I'm glad there were less orchestras this year. Just Sony, no buses next year. Come on, no buses. Don't put anybody on a bus. So I think that the last thing that we are going to get into before we kind of go over our overall winners and losers of the show is probably the one we're going to want to dump the most time. Guys, it's time to talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, they had a weird big small conference, actually. I think they were closer to Jim Sterling's idea. It was like, this game's coming out on the Switch, and they just kept doing it. There wasn't like a host, really.
Yeah. That's okay, though. I like that they focused on stuff that has a release window in the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. I feel like that was pretty smart. Especially with all the directs they keep doing, I feel like showing just the smaller release window for E3 was a good move.
They didn't really do that, though.
They only showed stuff that's coming out through Q1 of next year.
And so, I had a lot of problems with the presentation. Mm-hmm.
I know, you were salty.
So, and here's kind of where I sit with this, is I feel like there have been 2 reactions to Nintendo's press conference that have been largely hyperbolic. I think that the first hyperbolic reaction to Nintendo's press conference is the one that comes from the diehard Nintendo fan, which is the one that doesn't acknowledge that there were any problems with the conference at all. And then the other one comes from idiots on Twitter who do stuff like making GIFs of themselves throwing their Switches into fucking trash cans. You guys are idiots.
At me next time, Brian. Jesus.
No, wait, you're not one of those people who's making GIFs of themselves throwing a Switch into a trash can.
No, but I am one of those idiots on Twitter.
But you're not this specific idiot on Twitter.
No, I'm the other specific idiot on Twitter.
The one who believes that there was no problems with the press conference?
Well, there weren't no problems, but I'm not as salty about it as you were.
Okay, take it. It was a bad press conference. It's okay to think that the Switch is in a good place. The Switch is in a good place. And the Switch even has a reasonable lineup. Just Nintendo did a really bad job articulating it while they were on video games' largest stage. Like, this press conference should have been victory lap after victory lap, and they kind of fucked it up. The way you let people know that Fire Emblem is delayed is in the context of a video presentation that literally up until the time they flipped the switch on the presentation, like going into the presentation that morning, Nintendo said this presentation will focus on games for 2018. So that is what they said. This is going to focus on games for 2018. They show Fire Emblem, and then it gets to the end of the Fire Emblem tease, and it's like 2019. So essentially, they announced a delay by breaking their own rules that they set for their presentation. Not a good look. They open with showing an incredibly cool, like, mech fighting game, providing zero details about it in the context of the presentation, and then saying that this thing is coming out in 2019. And a lot of the stuff that they did show with 2018 dates is either stuff which is incredibly soon, and we already have every piece of information about it, like i.e. the Mario Tennis game, or is stuff that released so soon that ginning up additional interest in it could have been done better. Like, it was weird to me that in the context of the presentation, that when they showed the Octo expansion, that in the presentation they're like, releasing soon, and then later on the Treehouse, like a couple hours later, they're like, releasing tomorrow. I'm like, wow, you guys, you couldn't put like your surprise drop into the actual direct presentation? You have to wait like until your viewership dropped by over like 60-70% because most people aren't going to sit around and watch the 8-hour Treehouse Direct. Like, most of your viewership is gone at this point, and now's when you're going to do this surprise date announcement? That's a bad look. Like, you could have gotten some goodwill by being like, this thing's tomorrow! But you backload that information. They don't have a great first-party lineup for the rest of the year. A lot of that has to do with, like, delays on product. Like, the Yoshi game that was scheduled for later this year has been moved to 2019 with little or no explanation. I'm kind of worried about that game because they're like, oh, we want to give it more time. I'm like, it's a Yoshi game, guys. What are you doing? And just, like, no mention of it whatsoever. After it had been prominently positioned as like a tentpole title for the second half of this year. And the only major title that they have for H2 of this year, which is Smash Brothers, when they finally got to announcing a release date for it, at the end of their presentation, it is well after Black Friday. The thing is like releasing December 7th. At that point, They've lost a lot of the gas on holiday sales because they are missing all of the biggest holiday shopping weekend. They're going to miss Black Friday. They're missing Cyber Monday on that. And it's like, that's a bad look. Like,
they don't think it needs it, though.
Smash already has a dedicated fan base, which is getting bigger every year somehow. And also, like, the casual fan base that really wants Smash, like, Smash sells, like, by itself for some reason. It's kind of like, I want to say something like Final Fantasy X. Like, it was just, even if they don't hit the holiday weekends, they're going to build over time because Smash itself is like a phenomenon.
I don't dispute that Smash is going to sell. What I will dispute is that it could have sold more.
What are you, man? EA?
I mean, it's going to sell fine because, like, they've even announced that they made a Nintendo... a GameCube controller that'll work with the Switch for Smash. Like, even the Melee people are going to be coming out of the woodwork for a fucking Switch with Smash.
Yeah. Let me tell you about the people who care about that. Smash people. Casual consumers of video games could give a shit about a GameCube controller. Like, really. The only people who are going to care about that are the kind of people that Rocky's talking about, which are like the Smash diehards who only played Smash for the Wii U reluctantly. They're like, well, I guess while I'm not playing Melee, I could play this like somehow lesser thing. Like the GameCube controller is not a thing which has like broad ranging appeal. It is a thing that is for this subset of the FGC. And the other major tentpole release that they had to talk about for the second half of the year, which was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, they managed to fuck up the messaging on that. They hardly spent any time on it. And then this business of the Pokeball Plus is real bad by saying, like, hey, you can freely import Pokemon from Pokemon Go except for Mew. The only way you can get Mew is by purchasing this $50 accessory. That's a bad look, guys. Like,
I don't think that's the only way you're going to be able to get Mew, though. That's just the only way you can get it right now.
But, Tegan, they said this is the only way you'll ever be able to get this Pokemon, which means that they're doing one of two things. They're either being truthful and locking a Pokemon behind a $50 physical accessory, or lying to try and promote the sales of a $50 accessory now. Either one of those is bad.
I don't think they said anywhere that this is the only way you're ever going to be able to get it. Yes, they did. 3 times.
Rocky and I have already had this conversation.
No. I do know that they said that was the only way to do it, like, at launch, but I feel like, and I might be wrong, but I feel like that there's a statement.
This is literally a thing that they said. They said this is the only way you will ever be able to get this. And, yeah. Yes, Tegan?
Where?
3 times. They said it during the presentation, on their fucking website, and then later when people were like, are you sure this sounds like garbage? They then confirmed it on Twitter.
Okay, nope, I'm looking at it right now. There's an update on the official Pokemon site. Please note that you will not be able to bring a Mew caught in Pokemon Go into Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. The ability to claim your gift of Mew may be discontinued at some point after the initial sales period of the Pokeball Plus.
Yep.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like it's the only way to get it.
Hey, Tegan, that's literally what it says.
No, if it literally said it'd be the only way to get this Pokemon.
That is what fucking Reggie said during the... all right.
Show me. I literally do not remember this.
Do not Alex Jones me here. That's what they said.
I don't know who Alex Jones is. So I couldn't even if I tried.
I got some documents here.
Oh my God.
I just want to know, because I don't remember that. I know you can't transfer it. Like, I saw and heard that.
Well, I'm looking at Kotaku's coverage that says that Mew was announced as exclusive to the Pokeball Plus peripheral.
Okay, that only tells me that Mew's the only Pokemon that's gonna be in a Pokeball Go Plus is a Mew.
Like, you are splitting hairs here.
But it's not. Nintendo always releases the legendary Pokemon later. Always. 100% of the time. We got Celebi, we got all of the legendary dogs, we got every single legendary available up through Sun and Moon as DLC codes. Like, it's gonna be out again. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it with the ball.
So, they're lying to promote this $50 piece of tat.
You don't have to get the $50 piece of tat. You don't gotta.
No, Tegan, that's bullshit. That is horse shit. They're either lying or this is sleazy. It's one of the two. That you can't have it both ways.
I feel like it's more likely to be sleazy than lying.
Okay, then it's sleazy. It is one of the two. There is no middle ground. Like, they are either only releasing it in the Pokeball Plus, which is shitty, or they're lying because they're going to release it through some other method later. I think it's more likely that they're telling us exactly what they mean, and they are telling us the truth, and this thing is only in the Pokeball, which means that people... What's that, Rocky?
Pokemon Company's literally never done that. Like, they've definitely released stuff, like, exclusively in certain scenarios, but they've never kept it that way forever.
Right. Like, before it was the only way you'll be able to keep your legendaries is if you fucking get the Pokemon Go bank. And then it's like, oh, wait, never mind. We're gonna fucking release a new legendary on a DLC card every month at your local Target or GameStop or Best Buy or whatever. Like, that's not how the Pokemon Company works. They're
then
not...
why
right now,
say that?
Why say
if
you get a Pokemon Go Plus, you will get a Mew?
Because that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
I don't think they've actually said you can't get a Mew if you don't get the Pokemon Go Plus.
They said you can't transfer your Mew from Pokemon Go to the Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu. And they've said if you do get the Pokemon Go Plus, you will get a Mew.
Right.
They haven't said there's no other way to get this Mew. They've just said right now, this is what you can do.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to argue it any further. It's fucked. You guys can believe whatever you want. I think it's shitty.
I definitely understand that. I personally don't think it's that bad, specifically because it's Mew. Because Mew is like a vanity mon at best, to be honest. Like, I think the biggest, I guess, attraction to Mew in like any of the Pokemon games is that it can learn any move and it's like cute or whatever. So like it's pretty much mostly for like collectors or if you really like Mew. And so if you're either of those people, you're gonna buy the Pokemon Go Plus. And I don't think they're being bullied into paying $50 for this controller for a game that's already fun.
No, I don't think that they're bullying anybody. That's not what I'm arguing. I think it's shitty. Like, I think that locking a piece of DLC behind a $50 physical object is trash.
It's a legendary Pokemon that's only been an event release ever. They've never not had Mew locked behind something.
Locking Mew behind $50 is ridiculous.
Mew used to be locked behind a literal plane ticket to Japan. A literal plane ticket.
Like, Tegan, just because something else is ridiculous doesn't make this not ridiculous. That is also ridiculous. I think that is also trash.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like I'm not surprised by this, and also, I don't think the only reason you'd pay $50 for the Pokemon Go Plus is to get the Mew. And I understand that there are people that are likely like that, but outside of being collectors, which means you're pretty much going to do whatever you need to get all the Pokemon anyways, or you're like a huge Mew stan, like, the Pokemon Go Plus is probably like a $35 controller. And then you also get Mew, I guess.
And it works with your Switch and your phone.
Right. I don't know, man. Like, I think it still has value outside of, like, just getting Mew. And at worst, Mew being locked, quote unquote, behind the Pokemon Go Plus is par for the course. And at best, you're buying a new controller and also getting Mew.
And I don't want to restart this. I kind of want to move on with this conference because it's obvious that we have very different feelings on this Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the Pokeball was emblematic of a conference that was complete trash. Like, it's amazing. Nintendo's press conference was so bad that it was bad for Sony. Like, that takes work. Fortnite comes out, and the whole of the video game world tries to load the Fortnite onto their Switch, and then a whole bunch of people discover, oh, have you ever played Fortnite on your PlayStation before? Get fucked. That seems wild.
Well, I mean, also, that's not new. I'm not going to defend Sony on this, because they're definitely shitheads about it. But, like, when it showed up, like, on Xbox, that's when, like, this thing initially happened, but I realized that, arguably, a lot of the people that play on Switch, or that would play on Switch, are either, like, double dipping in some way, and so, like, me, personally, it didn't bother me so much when it came out on Xbox and it was locked behind that, but it definitely pissed me off when I got to it on the Switch. But I don't know if I could really blame Nintendo for that. It just makes Sony look like a dumber.
I think that this is a thing from the Nintendo conference, which is actually not bad for Nintendo, it's bad for Sony. And it kind of speaks to the scale of how much attention there was, how much attention there is on the Switch right now. Because there are a whole bunch of people out there who wanted to load Fortnite onto their Switch, who are obviously also people who are in Sony's ecosystem for whom this was impactful. Mm-hmm. So you have all these people who wanted to get in there, get some victory royales, hang out, push shopping carts, fuck around. And then the fact that this was a big, to-do and a big splash when it happened on Switch and not on Xbox, I think speaks to the scale of the Switch user base, the passion of the Switch user base, and the opportunity that existed in the Direct at E3. E3 is when the whole world, not just dedicated fans of Nintendo, pay attention to Nintendo. Like, there are lots of people out there who, like us, watch every Nintendo Direct, get invested in every Nintendo Direct, follow all of the tea leaves when we think that there's going to be an announcement of a Direct and stuff like that. And most of the world isn't like that. Most of the world doesn't follow video game news at all. They buy 1 or 2 video games a year and then move on. And then the people who do bother to casually engage with video game news do so because they know that June is Video Game Christmas and it's E3 and this is the only time of year I need to pay attention. And I think that knowing that this is that, Nintendo probably needed to message more effectively on longer term projects, even if those projects are not anywhere near ready to go. Just to remind people that there is a whole bunch of shit coming for the Switch, especially when they've already started to change their overall messaging strategy to do that more frequently. Lest we forget, last year at E3, they announced Metroid Prime 4, which was obviously nowhere near ready to go. So they had already established a precedent of using this platform as a place to discuss things which are longer-term targets. At the Video Game Awards in December, they announced Bayonetta 3, which is obviously a longer-term target, but when you're having that broader audience, in the context of an E3, like, that's a good thing to talk about. Retro Studios has not had a game out in 5 years. The last thing that they put out was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the original, not the port to the Switch. What has Retro been working on for the last 5 years? I mean, there are some solid leaks that say that it is a racing game based on the Star Fox IP. So why not just confirm for us that it exists? I mean, one of the things that Bethesda did at their conference was just confirm that some stuff that everybody knew existed. So that way they could just, move on past the fact that, they were confirmed rumors. People have known the name Starfield for years. So Bethesda's like, fuck it, Starfield's real. So that way we could stop having that conversation. And I think that Nintendo is, a company which is very slow, very deliberate. But I think that with the amount of focus and attention that the Switch has on it right now, that they could have used that attention more effectively. They could have given people things that validate their increased interest right now. There's going to be a racing game. Bayonetta 3 is in progress. Metroid Prime 4 is rad. Here's some of the changes that we're making to Yoshi that's coming next year. They could have pounded us. Also, knowing that the Wolfenstein game that is coming out next year from Bethesda is coming to the Switch, which is a thing that Bethesda mentioned. Why not put that into your presentation as well? Give us some of these third party, wins that you guys have, because it really felt like the presentation was, hey, Fortnite is out. A couple minutes on Pokemon Let's Go, and then letting us know that there are different fucking gun sounds for Bayonetta depending on what skin she has on in Smash. I struggled to stay awake during the Smash presentation. Over 10,000 differences. No one cares.
A lot of people care?
Yeah, a lot of people care. I would argue that a lot of people care about Smash. But
You don't think that, getting into the difference of the gun sounds for Bayonetta, depending on which costume she's wearing, is a level of nuance that the average consumer doesn't give a shit about?
But I don't think they're talking to them.
No,
at least
not.
that. Yeah, when they were talking about Smash Ultimate, they were trying to get everyone off Sakurai's back, and they wanted to, unify the Smash community to do a thing. And, like, so that's why and so, like, the people that are, like, passively watching, like, you know, the average consumer, there's like, oh, cool, like, Ice Climbers are back. I had a friend tell me, he's like, oh, dude, they put Roy back in Smash, like, completely.
Yeah, no, I was hype. I love Roy. Roy's my favorite Fire Emblem fighter, and he's back. I'm so happy. And Daisy, we get to play as Daisy finally. I don't care that she's just an echo character of Peach. I fucking love playing as Peach, and now I get to play as Daisy. That means she has her own color palette swaps. I'm in. They made Day-to-Day have a cage fight. Day-to-Day should have a cage fight. He's a fucking scary ass penguin. Fucking go for it. I love that, like, the limit gauge being able to be visible the entire time. I didn't even play as Cloud, and I'm excited about that. I can see what's in my fucking pocket as a fucking villager. Nice. I get to play as 8 different Inklings. Fucking nice. They all have their own costumes and colors. Sweet. That's gonna look great. Mori Towers is a thing? Fuck yeah, Mori Towers is a thing. That's my favorite stage. Like, loved the Smash thing, and I don't even play Smash! I don't play Smash! I swore off Smash! During the Wii! Because my roommate fucking ruined it for me! And I'm hyped for Smash!
Like, that's what I mean. Like, Smash Ultimate isn't designed to, like, pull, like, everyone, like, get everyone excited immediately. It's to call back everyone who has ever played Smash ever, and then sell the rest of it through word of mouth.
And then kill all the memes. Except Waluigi. Waluigi's been denied Smash.
I'm still really sad about that.
He's an assist trophy. You can attack him, but, you know. It's okay. Ridley's in Smash.
Ridley's in Smash now.
How long has that been a meme, and Ridley's in Smash?
I swear, like, I actually had, like, 5 different people text me. Like, I think only 2 of them were hardcores. Like, amazed that they finally put Ridley in Smash. Like, they've been waiting like a decade, man. Like, right? It's pretty intense.
Lucas is back. I love Lucas.
Oh fuck, I forgot about
Lucas.
Lucas.
So small.
So now I'm a Dark Pit Lucas Daisy main? Fuck. That's
yeah,
so weird.
We're all Dark Pit Lucas Daisy mains. Let's be real.
But I feel like, Brian, I'm not...
This wasn't your Nintendo E3 presentation.
I don't think it needs to be that personal.
Yeah.
I think, like, the thing about Nintendo's E3 is that I think they're speaking to their base, and they're telling them that they have options on the Switch. I think that's pretty much what was going on. They didn't want to they didn't signal on a lot of big things that are in the works, likely in the works. They just didn't confirm a lot of things. They didn't confirm a lot of new stuff. They basically told us, hey guys, we're bringing back Smash. There are games that are everywhere that will be available on your Switch, and here's some images of the new Fire Emblem.
They talked about Smash for 30 fucking minutes.
Yeah,
they did.
They did.
But like, dude, Nintendo's base eats this shit up, man. Like, I watched all of that.
I am Nintendo's base.
You're not Nintendo's base.
Okay, Brian.
You're not, Brian, I love you. I love you, but you're not Nintendo's base.
Really?
You're not a child, number 1. Number 2, you're into the murder. You're not Nintendo's Tegan, base.
First of all, that's completely fucking horseshit. Like, that's specious. Like, oh, you like games with murder in them. You're not Nintendo's base. That's fucking horseshit, Tegan, and you know it.
Okay. I gotta get that
Rocky's just not committal.
Okay. Man.
Like, this idea that somehow I'm, like, this idea of Nintendo's E3 conference being used by Nintendo fans as a loyalty test is ridiculous.
It's not a loyalty test. They were aiming at Smash players this year. You're
then
not
have
into
a Smash Direct. Have a fucking Smash Direct and don't have it at E3. Have a Smash Direct. Like, they have had game-specific directs in the past when they did not have all the, like, money on the blackjack table. They have said, like, okay, and here's our direct for this game, because this game needs to have its own, like, specific conversation to cater to its fans. Like, they understand that there are times to speak to a specific subset of their audience, And they have done that before. They have had game-specific directs. This was a Smash Direct masquerading as an E3 presentation.
I mean, but with the reaction from last year's, 30, 45 seconds of, hey, Smash is a thing and it's coming to Switch. With that reaction alone, I can 100% see them saying, we're gonna do Smash at E3. We're gonna do a lot of Smash at E3 because we gotta tell everybody this is not a fucking port. It's a new Smash just with everybody.
So
and
here's
everything.
A crazy idea. Because they announced Smash for the Switch this year, not last year, Tegan. They did it in January.
Oh, whatever.
Keep up. That when they did that, they could have said, oh, I don't know, it's not a fucking port. They could have just put it on the screen. Smash for Switch, it's not a fucking port. But they let people get into a tizzy for 6 months because they would not just answer the question, is this a port or not? And then there are people who, even after they fucking saw it, thought it was still a port. Rocky Hardy amongst them. I remember in the chat, Rocky's best port.
And I'm it's not a port.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I had to watch 30 minutes of Smash to, understand that. Because it still looked like a port. It's on Smash 4's engine. They tweaked it a lot, but, it looked like the same game. And that's why they had to spend so much time saying that. I feel like if Nintendo had got on stage, if they put Reggie Fils-Aimé, shaking hands with Miyamoto and Sakurai, and they told me, guys, it's not a port, I wouldn't have believed them until I saw the actual game.
So maybe they could have had a place to do that, I don't know, a Smash Direct. I don't know what to tell you guys, there's a reason their stock dropped 10% the day after.
I don't understand why that happened either, honestly.
Yes, because it was a shitty Direct. That failed to message their value proposition even remotely effectively. If you had that presentation to go on, you would believe that the Nintendo Switch has 3 games. And one of them requires a $50 accessory.
Requires is a strong word.
Yeah, it doesn't require it at all.
Okay, optional $50 accessory.
I mean, yeah, but, split all the amiibos are optional accessories, and then the different colorful Switch controllers are optional accessories. And those are $70.
That's true.
A set,
yeah.
So.
I think and again, as somebody who loves his Switch, loves a Nintendo, it was a bad presentation because they have a lot more value than what they messaged. They did not message their existing value well. They've got a good thing going on. They just didn't, let anybody know it.
I agree that they didn't necessarily sell their existing value, but I disagree that the extended amount of time on Smash wasn't necessary. This is something we're going to disagree on. And
that's fine. They could have found a better place to do that. E3 was the worst possible time to do it. Gun sounds. Fucking gun sounds for Bayonetta. I cannot believe that shit.
Every other Zelda is ready to throw down except Breath of the Wild Zelda. That's cool to me. But, whatever.
Well, sorry I failed the loyalty test, guys.
It's not a loyalty test! You just don't like Smash!
That's your word, not ours, man.
I'll go ahead and throw my fucking Switch in the trash when we're done recording because I'm not worthy of it.
Okay, none of us are doing that, man.
We gotta fight about whether or not we like pulp in our juice.
Oh, no, I don't.
That's the next Splatfest.
Okay, fuck.
What if there were 2 different pulp sounds?
I don't like pulp. I don't like orange juice.
I like the detail in the multiple, costume switches now.
I do too.
I really enjoy, how Ike, you get, Radiant Dawn versus Path of Radiance Ike. I like, how the different Zeldas and the different Links look. I like that there's 3 Links in the game now. I think that's hilarious.
I like that they changed Link's Final Smash for, Breath of the Wild Link to be the Ancient Arrow.
Yeah.
I think that's super appropriate.
No, I don't know. I like how they sped up a lot of the characters, how they added like small micro tech to stuff, like how Samus can charge her beam like in the air now, which is honestly something that we should have been able to do 10 years ago, but we just weren't. Oh man, like,
Rocky, do you think that the Smash community is actually going to move on from Melee because of this?
Move on from Melee?
Yep.
I don't know about move on. I think it's a big thing. It'll still take a couple of years. I mean, everybody will still play Melee, but Ultimate seems to be like, I feel like it's still a different game. Like there are things about Melee that Ultimate doesn't like fill. Like for example, like combos are looks like they're going to be a lot harder in Ultimate because of how like flighty everyone is. But like things like character choice and like diversity of like options in fights are definitely things that are preserved in Ultimate that weren't really preserved that well in Brawl or Smash 4. Like there were kind of like a couple of things you could do even if you had these really diverse characters, and there are more universal options in Ultimate in a way that's similar to Melee but just doesn't have the old tech. I'd like to see what happens.
My guess is what happens is it'll sell pretty good. It might even sell great, but not super great. And the FGC will do with it exactly what they did with Smash 4, which is it'll get a percentage of the Smash player base, but not the whole Smash player base, because there's a whole bunch of like guys who just refuse to put down their Cube controllers and refuse to acknowledge that anything has happened with that series beyond Melee. So,
but okay, so Smash 4, like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Smash 4 and Melee have similar player bases at tournaments. Like, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I think at EVO, Melee had something like 1,500 entries, and Smash 4 had like 1,200. And a lot of people just play both. If Nintendo's goal is to, like, get people to not play Melee anymore, I think that's a losing battle. Like, people still play Super Turbo and like Alpha. Like, they're at tournaments every year. They're super respected. And I really like Ultimate. I think it represents a very good thing in both the FGC and like in the Smash like history in general. I think casuals will have a lot of fun with it. I think the hardcores will find their space to play with it. It just depends on what happens when we get into people's hands.
Other thing from the conference that I was puzzled by the complete and total fucking absence of is any kind of further discussion about their paid online platform.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Because we
launches
don't know.
in fucking September. Mm-hmm. There is an assumption that people walked into this conference with because it just made so much sense. It was a thing that I think all three of us said with a breath of surety before this conference, which is that obviously Smash will launch with paid online. Because it seemed to be the easiest way to sugarcoat that. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, paid online will launch with Smash, so everybody will go along with it. And so paid online launches in September. Smash doesn't launch until after Black Friday. Mm-hmm. That 3-month disparity where the only thing people are really doing is paying online for games that they have been playing online for free for the last year without more effectively messaging the speed at which games are going to be added to this NES Classics library, when SNES games are going to eventually be added, like what that online play looks like for the classic games. None of that shit was talked about, and unlike Fire Emblem, unlike Yoshi, unlike Bayonetta 3, where one could say, like, the reason to not talk about that stuff is far off. That shit is right here. That shit is right here. It's happening in September. They need to message that stuff soon. Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like there needs to be another Nintendo Direct before September, before that launches. And I'm hoping that that's going to be, I don't know what you would call it, the real Direct, the better Direct. Like, hey guys, like, let's talk a lot about stuff that requires online functionality and so that way you can get a better idea as to what the value proposition is for this. Because what's weird is Fortnite will not require it.
Right.
That's weird.
Well, it's not unprecedented. Because it runs on Epic servers, not on like Nintendo's or anything. And that's how it's always been. And Square Enix did the same thing with Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV on both the PC and the Sony platforms.
Sure. But I guess the difference is that Final Fantasy XI and XIV weren't necessarily launching at a mission-critical time where Sony was just starting to convince people to pay for access to online features.
Mm-hmm.
But in contrast, Fortnite is. Also the fact that, like, Fortnite allows for in-game party system and in-game party chat without any kind of weird voodoo, without having to use, like, an app on your phone. Just like, yep, party up with your friends and use a fucking headset. And it just works is another thing which I think looks bad for Nintendo, because Fortnite is running and people are partying up and talking to each other easily in this thing. And still really just the messaging we have around, you know, Nintendo's in-game chat and Nintendo's in-game party finding is still the stuff with the phone and no additional details on the value proposition for the classic NES games. Like, come on, guys. Like, you know, I can understand there being some logic somewhere that maybe I don't agree with, but some logic somewhere for not showing things that are further out. But this is not that. So I wish they had spent some more time with Ninjala. They spent like less than 10 seconds with it on the direct proper. They got to it later in the treehouse. Mm-hmm. It looks cool. Mm-hmm. It looks super cool. It's also evidence of like good third-party support for the Switch, which is kind of like adopting what I would call like the current like Nintendo feel. Like, I think there's a feel which has kind of emerged with like Splatoon and ARMS, and like there's a current like I think like artistic style, and Ninjala feels like it fits right in with that. And I think that like the gameplay design of it is designed to cater to a whole bunch of those fan bases that we were talking about, like Splatoon fan bases, Smash fan bases, ARMS fan base. Admittedly, the ARMS fan base is, I think, like 8 guys in a basement. But I think it could have benefited from more focus, and especially considering that, like, Gung Ho says that thing's going to release in Q1 2019. You know, get out there and talk about it. It looks cool. Fucking kids hitting each other while running up the sides of buildings with, like, pieces of candy, bouncing off pieces of bubblegum. That looks neat. Also, Dark Souls. It hasn't launched yet. Talk more about it. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, I was profoundly disappointed in that kind of way that like a parent talks to their kid and says, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like, Nintendo, I know you can do better. I know that you can effectively communicate your value proposition. That is literally all you spent last year doing when you killed it month after month, not just with the product that you were delivering, but in the way that you were messaging that product. This direct felt like they should have sent out Reggie with a blindfold and a cigarette because he was standing in front of a firing squad. I'm done now.
Jeez, Brian was really mad about the E3 presentation. Like, holy shit.
It's been a fire building, Rocky. It really has.
I don't know, dude. I had a good time. Like, I don't know what to tell you right now, man. I don't have the words.
Yeah.
So who won E3?
Bethesda. No. Devolver Digital. No, wait. Maybe Ubisoft? Maybe Ubisoft. I'm trying to think of, like, whose presentation I had the most, like, generalized fun at. Maybe Ubisoft.
I could get behind Ubisoft. I don't feel strongly about it, but...
I think for me, my winner was pretty clearly Microsoft.
Okay.
Like, they showed 50 games in that show, and I wanted to touch most of them. Also, they talked more about, like, network infrastructure and the value proposition of, Xbox Game Pass, and talked about adding a lot more third-party support and day one support to Game Pass. Like, talking about third-party games that would launch into Game Pass, which is, seems like a good thing. They talked about buying studios and giving those studios more money, and the idea of Ninja Theory getting more money to do cool stuff sounds cool. And they acknowledged the development of their next platform. Of course, like, since then, more details have leaked about codename Scarlet, which will be coming in 2020. So, like, I'm comfortable with where they are. Like, I feel like Cool Dad Phil Spencer has found a direction for that platform. I think that number 2 for me was probably Ubisoft. Only brought down by the hit record bullshit. But, like, everything that they showed amongst their games, I was interested in. And then for me, it would probably be a tie between Devolver and Bethesda next. Neither of them showed, like, a giant metric ton, but what they did show was interesting.
I just like tracking the value of Devolver Digital's limited run coin.
Oh yeah, how
what
much
I
is
did
the loot
for
box
the rest
coin
of
right
the
now?
evening. When I stopped tracking it, it was $150 a coin. The lowest it hit I saw was $113.
Are we doing a live check?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
gonna
sure.
do a live check right now.
Unavailable! Holy shit!
Yeah, it's unavailable. It's gone.
Damn.
No more
All right.
limited run coins. I hope you get something other than the coin. Like, I really hope you get something other than the coin with the coin, especially if you're spending $150 on a plastic coin. But, like, I also understand the joy of that kind of stuff. And then I was like, when it hit 113, I was like, this is the lowest it's ever been. Should I buy a coin? And Alex was like, Tegan, no! I was like, okay, I won't buy a coin.
So, Tegan, you didn't watch their conference last year, did you?
No, I didn't. I was asleep, and I tried to watch it afterwards, and it was not what you guys saw, apparently, so I was just very confused.
So, now that you have been on the Devolver Digital hype train, what did you think of it?
I was upset and confused, and I probably won't watch next year's just because I don't...
But Margaret's gonna be back. I
Who?
love Margaret.
What?
Margaret.
Is that the lady who was screaming at us? Like, it did like how
No, that's-
very candid it was about, like, this is, like, obviously loot boxes are a problem, so we're gonna make this a fucking huge-ass joke. And then, but we're gonna frame it in a way that's, like, obviously you guys are stupid, and this is what people actually think about people who buy them. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yep, okay, cool. And that, but I don't know, it was just a lot. I don't think Devolver Digital's E3 conference is not for me, and I acknowledge that. Like, it's definitely, like, not my market, and that's okay.
All right. Good times. It seems like none of us thought that Sony won, despite showing some very solid stuff. I wonder why that is.
Because their press conference was so weird. If it hadn't had the talking heads and all the random musical breakups, like, and I'm not talking about the dude who introduced the games playing music. Like, I'm not talking about the live performance. I'm talking about the rock banana and, like, whatever else was going on. Like, if they'd cut all that out, it would have won for me. But it was just too weird for me. Like, it was too disjointed, almost.
I wish there had been a little bit more brass tacks information on everything that was not Death Stranding. Like, just here's some more, like, hard data on Spider-Man, Ghost, and Last of Us. Just give me deets I don't necessarily need release dates if you don't have them nailed down yet. But, like, give me an idea how big the map is. Give me an idea what the fuck the other activities are. Let me know what your estimated campaign length is. Just give me some, like, data. Like, I realize that these gameplays, demos are, like, wowie wow, but I'd like to know stuff. Which I think is what probably took me away from rating it more highly. I liked Ubisoft's conference because it had a lot of stuff in it. All right. Well, I guess, guys, that's E3. That's a whole thing. Rocky, you want to tell folks how to engage with our content?
Yeah, sure. So, guys, I'm sure you know there's music at the beginning and end of this podcast. It's produced by our guy, Big Sach. You can find him on soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ, or you can follow him on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. We always appreciate reviews. So if you guys want to tell us how wrong or how right we are about E3, we'd appreciate it in review form, either on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, where you can find our podcasts. We appreciate any and all reviews, but if you put your review on iTunes, Brian owes you a biscuit. That's the deal. Make sure you get your biscuit. Outside of that, wait, did I skip a thing? Oh, we have a Discord. That's right. We have a Discord. It's still around. And it's on all the social medias, on the Facebook, the Twitter, and the Tumblr. And also, we stream on Mondays and Fridays. I kill monsters. Brian plays collectible card games. Get at us.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for hanging out. Hope your E3 was great. I think we're going to be back with a shit ton of news next week.
True.
Maybe we'll play some games. We never know. It's wild. I guess I've been Brian Cartwright. Peace.
I've been Tegan Somerset. Bye.
I'm Rocky Hardy.
It's official.
Later.
Suck.